Nick Lane was a full participant yesterday. How's he feeling after having gone through that, and what are his chances for Sunday?
Yeah, we'll see. We got to get through today, and see how he feels today. And but he had a good practice yesterday, and as you know, he was full participant. And so again, like I said, I'm not gonna say one way or the other if what I think. I mean, obviously he was full yesterday, so we'll see how today goes though, and we'll get you some information after that.
Did Justin Evans suffer a setback, and that window's closing soon? What's his status?
Yeah, obviously he's still working hard, and again, don't with his situation, we'll get more information as the next couple days go on, but I don't really have any new information for you on that.
How's Dallas's progress coming?
Any other questions about injury? He's doing well. He's coming along. And we'll see how it goes today. But I appreciate you guys really trying to get all the injury information. I'm just, me, I'm just not going to give you much.
Red zone offense.
I know you guys don't like that though.
Red zone offense. It's about week 5. You guys kind of turned the corner. What when you look before or after, why you guys been so successful?
We knew we had the guys on the team to be successful in that area. It was just about, the accumulated reps, finding our identity in it, right? There's a lot of things that go into that. Not just because you were good in an aspect of something last year doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good in it this year. And what I mean by that is your identity isn't always the same each year. And so the identity of what we did last year is just a little bit different than what we did this year. And it was taking a little bit of time. It took us a little bit more time to figure out that identity. And since we've done a really nice job, and our players are executing it at a high level.
I know you were asked about the linebackers position on Wednesday, but you have had 2 injuries. N'Kobe obviously is out, and Zach doesn't look like it. Why are you comfortable with Christian and now Ben Sumer being?
Again, as we watch practice, as we've went through training camp, and then being practice here, and then just the things that they've done when they've been on the field, special teams wise. Obviously we account for everything and take everything into account of how they're playing. And so, we feel comfortable with those guys from the practice standpoint and the plays that they've made on special teams.
The last couple of weeks, DeAndre has had runs to kind of get the offense going. I guess how valuable has he been, both as a runner and somebody who you can kind of deploy at different spots?
Yeah, super valuable. He's a playmaker, all right? And the more playmakers you have on your team, it's tough. It's a little bit harder to share the ball with everybody, but because everybody's deserving of the touches that they get and then some. But yeah, he's done a really nice job. And how you get the running back the ball is different than how you get a receiver or a tight end the ball. And so, sometimes it just takes, turning around and handing it off to him. Sometimes the coverage can dictate some different things when you're trying to get the ball to a receiver or a tight end. But he just has the ability to make plays. And that's not only in the run game, but also in the pass game and in the screen game. He's just a playmaker, and we're sure glad we have him on this team. And he's had a nice season so far. We look to continue on with that.
Maybe 2 more. You have a bunch of guys after AJ and Devontae who are getting snaps. Do you want to see one guy kind of settle into that third role, or do you want to keep mixing?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I think they're all doing a nice job of having their different strengths and different things that they can do. And so no, I think that the more guys that you can play in that role, it just and the deeper you are, that's a good thing for us. And so we're pleased with Julio, we're pleased with Quez, we're pleased with OZ. They've all done different things in different games that have helped us win games. And so, we'll continue to use all 3 of those guys. And Britton obviously too has a role, that maybe you don't see a lot of plays out of it right yet, but maybe you'll continue to see him in that as well.
As someone who's made a living studying wide receivers, what's your perspective on DeSean Jackson?
Oh yeah, big fan of him. Got to chat with him earlier today. The the speed that he played with was on a different level. It felt like, you know, he would just be able, and again, I've definitely studied him. He was going at a different level, and everybody, when a guy's running as fast as DeSean would run on the field, right, the guys that are covering DeSean are doing everything they can do to catch up to him. And then it would, you know, and then he would break down, and it's really hard. It's a lot harder to break down when you're in a catch-up mode than when you're completely under control. And so that was always something that I admired about him, is the way he could get in and out of breaks when he was going so fast, and how the lack of a defensive back couldn't get out of it because they're working so hard to keep up with them. You know, I told him today that we have he's still on teach tapes, and even though I never got a chance to coach him, he's still on teach tapes. There's a great play of him against the Giants that Michael Vick threw him a touchdown on. He kind of released inside. He kind of released inside on a route that he was going to bend back to the corner, and he sold his head like, "Hey, I'm going this way." The defensive back undercut him. He ripped it out. He ripped it back out, and Vic put it on him in the corner of the end zone. That we still use that clip to teach our guys, hey, if you're in this position in a trail, here's something that's a good opportunity for you to use here. Again, he didn't just stick at the top. He kind of sold his head like, I'm coming this way, and ripped. So you could see, and guys don't do that unless they have an instinct and a feel for the game of how to play the game of receiver. So I think, you know, to answer your question, like the athleticism, everyone sees the athleticism on the tape of how awesome he was physically, right? But then that as a guy who loves wide receiver play, that all that detail that went into that route really showed his knowledge of the game and how he, you know, went about it. So I really admire that him, and then obviously all the plays that he made. Yeah, really excited for him today to be going, you know, to be retiring an Eagle.